There seems to be confusion over your stance as regards trans women when they want to use the lavatory. Where exactly are you on this, and whether they need a GRC, Gender Recognition Certificate? Bridget Phillipson.
So I believe that single-sex spaces are important, and that applies in areas such as that, for example. It also applies around the biological sex being the determining factor when people can access, for example, rape crisis or sexual violence services or domestic violence services. My background before I was a politician was in managing a women's refuge. So I understand how important it is that women have access to single-sex spaces, have that safety, that dignity, that opportunity to speak openly about traumatic events in their lives. The Equality Act allows for that. There is clear provision within the Equality Act that service providers can insist that we make sure that single-sex spaces are preserved. But we do believe there needs to be greater clarity so that providers are able to have confidence in the decisions that they're making. We will issue strength and guidance to that effect.
So the trans woman with a penis would use which lavatory?
Well, look, I think it's important that all people feel safe and have dignity.
No, but she needs to go to the lavatory. Which one does she use?
I think there are a range of options that would...
Well, she hasn't got a range of options, respectfully. She's got a door with a woman on it. She's got a door with a bloke on it. Which one does she go in, Bridget Phillipson?
Well, many businesses and many public buildings also provide the option...
Yes, sadly, this restaurant only has one with a picture of a woman and a picture of a man. So which door does she go through?
Well, I would expect they would have a range of different options.
No, this restaurant doesn't. It's just got the two. So which one does she use?
I would want people to treat one another with respect.
She needs to use the lavatory, Shadow Secretary of State. Which one is she to use?
I would hope that person, whoever they would happen to be, trans person, it's not clear, would...
Well, it is. It's a trans woman with a penis, and she's desperate to go to the loo, and she's really getting desperate now.
I wouldn't want that person to feel at risk. Equally, I wouldn't want biological women to feel intimidated.
So where does she go?
Space. It's about seeking common sense solutions and being practical about it. I would hope that they might be able to, for example, try and find a compromise where no one...
So she's got to leave the restaurant to find somewhere else, is what we're saying.
No, I would expect that a business would provide a range of different options so that all people, biological women and trans women, can find a way so that no one feels that their safety or dignity is compromised. And I do think where it comes to trans people within our society, I understand the challenges that the long process that many people will have gone through in order to be recognised in a gender different to the biological sex into which they were born. That is not a short process. That is an extensive...
But you seem to have checked earlier this week. You said she should use the female toilet, didn't you?
Look, these. I want to make sure that everyone, where it comes to this discussion, that we have this discussion in a way that is respectful and seeks to find common ground. And I'm single-sex... And it is important. And as a woman, I believe it to be important.
Final question. The stance on this political stance, it seems you've cost the trust for Labour of people such as former party donor J.K. Rowling, or Rowling, whichever you can say. Does that worry you, that people speak out against this, what seems to be muddled stance?
Look, I have a huge amount of respect for J.K. Rowling, not least in the work that she's done around campaigning for women, around domestic violence, around rape crisis services, and making sure that all women in our communities feel safe. So I'm really sorry about that, and obviously we will work every day to persuade voters who are not voting Labour that we can earn their trust once more. But I do admire the work that she has done around women's rights.